Alright, SlimmBob here. Time for another review. And this time, what should we do? Film. Let's do a film, eh? Oh, not it. Oh god. Thanks. Thank you. I know you're a cheap contract, but still, shouldn't attack me. Well, yeah, I'm reviewing a film. This film I saw. Well, all right. It's two films. I'm reviewing Fright Night and the remake, the 80s Fright Night, and the new one that's just come out. Alright, I've got to be honest. The original Fright Night, I didn't see it until last week. It might be last week or the week before. I think it was last week. Because I've heard a lot of people say it's very good, Fright Night, and it's one of them. I've always wanted to see it, but I've never really had an opportunity. So, seeing as remake were coming out, I thought it'd be cool to check out original and see, you know, if it's as good as everyone says, and so I'd, you know, have more context for remake and stuff, so I could do comparisons and shit. And yeah, the original's really good. I must say, it's a proper fucking 80s film, is what it is. The soundtrack's got all you know, ridiculous electronic samples in it. It's very good. Soundtrack's brilliant. Characters are brilliant. It's a brilliant film because it's kind of like a spoof. It's just a great celebration of everything we love about vampires. And yeah, it's a great film. And the remake, I saw the remake the other day, yesterday. You thought I was going to say shit, didn't you? No, it's a good film. I like the remake as well. It's different, and that's what I like about it. Because some remakes, they try and just, you know, copy original, and it don't work. Because the whole point to me in a remake, it's like a reimagining. But that's the thing, this remake, it has that same kind of essence. It's not a spoof though, it's a serious film. But it's just a loving memory of that old film. If you know, it's hard to explain, but I just really enjoyed it. It's a damn good film. So yeah, what's the story in Fright Night? Well, I've already said it's about vampires. Basically what it is, which film we're going by here. Alright, we'll go by original. In the original, this kid, I can't remember the name of the kid, I'm terrible, but this kid, he lived in this house, and he is obsessed with vampires. There's this show on telly called Fright Night, and it's hosted by this guy called Peter Vincent, who's supposed to be like this legendary vampire hunter. And basically he's obsessed with vampires, this kid. He's fucking ridiculously obsessed. It's scary. And someone moves in next door. Well, two people move in next door, and he suspects that one of them's a vampire. Turns out he is a vampire. I don't think that's a spoiler. It's been out it's 30-year-old, this film, so it's not really a spoiler. So yeah, he's a vampire, and so he's trying to convince people that he's a vampire and stuff. And that's what it's about. It gets really tense, and it's a great flick, is what it is. Fright Night, and there's a character in it who plays his best mate. He has like, what do you call it? He has like blonde hair, really spiky. He's fucking hilarious, that kid. Seriously, he reminds me of Ryan. I've told him already. He needs to see that film just to see. He don't remind me of Ryan now. Just Ryan when I first met him, which is 10 years ago, when he was ridiculously hyper and stuff. It's just so funny to watch, that kid. That's the thing, you have all these performances in the original. A lot of performances, they're so really over the top and stuff. Especially him, he's way over the top. And because of the acting as well, I think that's the thing, you know, because I watched it now, the acting style then is a lot more melodramatic than it, you know, like compared to nowadays with films. It did used to be a lot more melodramatic, and it does come through, but it's, I think it was deliberate. It had to be deliberate. Surely it were. That's what I love about it. It just celebrates everything good about vampires. And yeah, it creates a really badass film. Like the gore, there's a particular bit at the end that's right gory and just, it's so satisfying. I must say, that were really satisfying in the original. You know, because it were in the 80s, it were all practical effects, and it just looks so fucking cool, I swear that. But it looks goofy at the same time. Like, you know his face, like the vampire, when his face changes to his vampire face, he looks fucking goofy, he looks silly, but he's still a badass at the same time. They maintain this very good balance and stuff. And yeah, that's why it succeeds, I think, the original. So, the remake, that is not a spoof. It's a serious film. There's jokes in it, you know, it's about, you get your jokes and stuff, you know, like in a standard summer action film, you expect jokes, don't you? Well, that does the same here, it's just not a spoof, you know, you don't tell enough jokes to be a comedy, and it makes it, they had to put a fucking Twilight reference in, didn't they? These just, why, just leave it alone, let's forget about Twilight. I know there's another 2 films coming out, but fuck it, I want to forget about it now, but so yeah, he's the kid who his best friend as well. He's played by McLovin. I don't know the actor's name. McLovin in Superbad, or he was the Red Mist in Kick-Ass. He plays McLovin. You can tell that all people at cast. Like, well, there's 2 people. He was perfectly cast. They wrote it for him, that role, completely. And yeah, they could have easily made it into a spoof though, you know, the new one, because like, especially because in the original, the character Peter Vincent is an old man in the original, and in the new one he's played by David Tennant, which for a fucking start, it's very good to see David Tennant in pictures on big screen. It's just, that is brilliant. That he deserves it. He's such a good actor, that bloke. And the only thing with his character, it was clearly written for Russell Brand. That character. I mean, everything he does, it's like stuff you'd see in like Get Him to Greek or Getting Sarah Marshall and stuff like that. It's just, he's clearly written for Russell Brand. Even like his image, because he wears a black wig, like Russell Brand hair wig, and all tattoos and stuff. He's fucking Russell Brand. He's supposed to be. But whoever the fuck the casting director were for that film, props to you, pal. Because if they'd have got Russell Brand, I wouldn't have been able to take it seriously. Because David Tennant's a good serious actor, and I've seen him do good serious acting, so I can take him seriously. Even Doctor Who, it's serious, it's silly, and it's, you know, it's for a younger audience, but it's still serious. There's some serious drama in there, and Russell Brand's a comedian, so it would have been. It's like, I remember like there was this show on where it were on a few years ago where Lee Evans did a serious show. And I couldn't fucking watch it because I was just laughing at him all the time. It was quite intense drama and all, but I couldn't stop laughing. You know, because it was Lee Evans. This is the same. If they'd actually got Russell Brand to play that character, it would have turned into a spoof, and that's not what they were going for. So David Tennant's a great actor. He pulled off the Russell Brand like fucking perfectly without making it into a comedy, and that's a great casting choice as far as I'm concerned. The original, I keep on calling him fucking Vincent Price. The original Peter Vincent, the old man, he were good and all. He kind of reminded me of Doc Brown. Well, especially in the final act, he reminded me of Doc Brown in Back to the Future, where he kind of just got on with it and he's kind of insane and stuff. So, yeah, he were good. Yeah, but the main thing, what's the main vampire like? The vampire bloke. Well, in the original, I don't know who the bloke is, but he's good. I don't know. See, Colin Farrell's sensational, but this bloke, he pulls it off right. He has that image. Everything, that was sexy in the 80s, he is that. And he pulls it off great. But yeah, props to Colin Farrell. I mean, it's just like, in most films, vampires. How do you know they're vampires? Because they go... You know what I mean? They all act the same. They all... I don't know, Colin Farrell had these really cool bits. Just, like when a cross is coming near him. In all other vampire films, just go and then go like that. Or just run off. The way he reacted to it, I don't know, it seemed more animalistic, if you know what I mean. Like, the whole thing with a vampire is that it's an animal, in a way. It's an undead animal. And I kind of got that feeling from Colin Farrell's performance. And they had some scenes and all. There's a bit in a car. I got the same feeling I got when I saw the T-1000 chase John Connor's bike in Terminator 2. It was a right intense scene, and wow. Some people have right slated this new film, and I don't know why. I really enjoyed it. Alright, scores for them both. Alright, the original. I don't know which do I enjoy most. If I had a choice of which one to put on, like say I had a choice, I've got DVD night, which version of Fright Night am I going to put on? I'd probably put the original on. But that's just to watch, just because it's more fun, if you know what I mean. It's a really fun film, and for that I'm giving it 4 stars, because to me it's a beautiful parody of, like, and celebration of vampire films. The new one, I don't know, I'll give 3 I think. I don't think it's as good as the original. Not that it's bad, it's a good film. It's just, well, for one, CGI. It's just, when you've seen that original death in the first one, you get, obviously, when the CGI, it doesn't have that effect. It doesn't have that same strength as practical stuff. Plus, his friend, the main character's friend, he has a much smaller role in the remake. And that kind of disappointed me, because I really like that kid, McLovin. He's very funny, stuff he's in. So I wish he'd had a bigger role, but that's a shame. But I just think it's a good film, but it's not got that same energy. It's not got that same drive as the first one. So yeah, either way, if there is actually still in pictures, I don't know if it is. Another thing with new one, it's in fucking 3D. There's no point in it being in 3D. It's not one of them films. There's a couple of bits where it goes, bah, like with blood, and bit at end. All the CGI, you can tell it's all CGI. CGI is the only thing you can do in 3D, because it's the only thing that don't look layered, if you know what I mean. That's why Pixar films look great in 3D, but that's why Avatar looked great in 3D, because it were all, Pandora were basically, it were all CGI, weren't it? So, yeah, films like this it obviously weren't filmed to be in 3D. It's like every shot they must have been like, oh, stick a camera there, just in case we put a 3D moment in. It's, you know what I mean? It didn't work. I didn't care. I'd rather watched it with eyeglasses. Yeah. People as well, it costs a tenner to see a 3D film there, and that's disgusting. It's stupid, I don't know. They'd have made more money and all, if they'd had it 2D, because I'd swear more people would have seen it, because I know a load of people, I ask them, like, do you want to go to pictures, and they'll say no, because I don't have money, it's too expensive. It used to be fucking £5 to see a film, now it's double that, it's fucking ridiculous. But this isn't a rant about cinema prices. So, yeah, Fright Night, see them both. They're both great. If you want a great horror film, great horror flick, great comedy, see the first one. But yeah, I must say the new one had better horror in it. Like, there's a bit, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a bit near end where, I don't know, should I spoil it? No. But towards the end, there is a bit that really got to me, where basically one of the characters is in a room, and, you know, stuff starts coming out at walls. I don't know, just see it. You'll see what I mean, you'll know. It's a better horror film. The new one's a better horror film, so that's my advice. If you want a great comedy spoof, it's still gory stuff, but if you're leaning towards more of a fun time, see the original. If you want a good horror with like that, where he's there and he's like, the vampire comes to his house, and obviously you can't he can't come into your house unless you invite him in. So he's there. He knows that he's a vampire at this point, so he comes over to his house and he's like, "Can we? I need some beers because I've invited someone over." And main character's walking about, and he's like, you can see Colin Farrell is there, begging for an invitation into the house, and he knows there's a point where it clicks, and it's so good. That's a brilliant scene. But as a horror film, yeah, the new one. In fact, fuck it, 4 stars, because it's, for vampires, it's one of the best vampire films actually, recently. It gives vampires justice, it makes them badass again. 4 stars. I'm terrible, aren't I? It is though. It's a good film, I enjoyed it. So yeah, both from 4 stars, they're great films. First one's less serious. New one's more horrific. Well, it's more horror driven. But they're both great. If you like them kind of films, go and see it. You'll enjoy it. Well, it's not time of your life, but they're good. It's all good stuff. Anyway, yeah, this is SlimmBob. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.